but meats and cheeses dipped in mayo are really that's my forte. I'm the vegetarian, by the way. Man.
Yeah, right.
Soon, man, soon. The minute I die, I'm going to stop eating meat.
Really, that soon?
Yeah, well, that's going to be Thursday at this rate. I want to talk about some uncomfortable things, not to take it off of a delicious food topic, but I want to take it to the most uncomfortable thing of my life. This week, I had maybe one of the worst experiences of my life. And this, well, maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but wow. I had a pretty bad experience at work this week. And on top of it, I want to talk about the complication and ridiculousness of my backwards, crazy, screwed up mind as I dealt with this experience. On Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, when most people weren't at work, there were maybe 5 of us there. We decided to leave for lunch, to all go out to lunch, and we went to a fantastic little diner/restaurant called Duke's on 3rd Avenue, and got Duke's hot wings for lunch. I got like 2 trays of hot wings and a couple of beers for lunch. It was really outrageous.
How much is in a tray?
20. Oh, so yes, so we got 40 wings. And that was really just me and one other dude that was playing, because the other guys there got the buffalo chicken sandwiches or whatever. Blah blah. Yeah, ridiculous. But so we went, we ate, we had a good time, and one of the guys that was there is a member of our guild in Warcraft, so we spent the whole time talking about Warcraft while 2 other dudes sat there looking at us with blank faces.
Was he the wing guy?
No, he's a buffalo chicken sandwich guy.
I was going to say, why don't you guys just get separate tables?
But so we sat and we ate, and then I went back to work. And I started working on a problem, and I started talking to someone from my knock about a problem that I'm having. Actually, a work problem that I'm having that actually is still happening this morning. Brian came in to hear me fighting with someone about it when he came in today. And I'm sitting at my desk, and as I'm sitting there on my computer, I look down onto my big fat stomach. And what's on my big fat stomach after going out for a big delicious hot wing lunch?
Sauce? Blue cheese?
You would think, right? No, a cockroach about 3.5 inches long. I'm showing it to the camera. Literally this long, like that big, on the center of my sweatshirt at my desk as I'm sitting there. My immediate reaction, of course, scream like a girl.
Exactly.
Flail with my hand at said cockroach. I mean, like, it didn't even look like a cockroach, because, I mean, to me, where I'm from, what cockroaches look like and what this thing was, this looked more like a Florida palmetto bug that they talk about, like those hissing cockroaches. It was enormous. Just crawling right across the center of my stomach, And I flick the thing, scream, run away from my desk, I'm just like, freaking out. And then I tell the guy on the phone, hey, man, I got to call you back. And I just hang up. Then the buddy of mine that's at the other side of the office comes over. And he's coming over because actually I loaned him my MP3 player to listen to music. He didn't even hear me scream across the office. He's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, dude. And I show him this thing. And he's from Florida. He's like, oh, it's like a palmetto bug, man. Those things are really disgusting. They're gigantic. The thing, I mean, because where I flicked it, because then I didn't know where it went. I was afraid, oh my God, did it go into my bag? Did it go into my drawers? Where could it possibly have gone? Turns out that I knocked it in such a way that it went right next to my computer screen, and there were wires there, and he just nestled himself under the wires. Himself or herself. I'm hoping a him, because I don't want there to be eggs all over me. And after like 10 minutes of trying to put together a plan of how to get him, I got him and killed him and threw him out. And then I called the guy from my knockback. Then, of course, obviously, I'm germ-phobic as I am with certain things. I, hit my antibacterial wipes like a million times and Purell and went crazy, washed my hands, went every place, took my sweatshirt off, threw it off to the side, let it sit over on the side.
Burned it.
Went over with antibacterial wipes and sprayed I keep saying wipes, the Purell lotion, and squirted the whole front of my shirt and just soaked it with this alcohol to try and wash whatever germs were on me from this thing being on me for 2 seconds.
I don't know why this means anything to me, but when you called your knockback, did you tell him why you had to hang up?
This is the part of my story where I'm saying like that I don't, the weirdness, the psychosis of my head. So I called back, And I tell Steve from my knock, hey man, you don't even understand what just happened. I was just at my desk while I was talking about this, and a roach crawled across, and then in my head I think, computation's going on. Maybe he's going to think I'm gross if it was on my stomach, and it was on my shirt. A roach crawled across my foot, and I saw it on my sneaker. Like, why would that be less gross in my mind? Why
Because
would,
it's more like in your head that it came from the ground as opposed to living in your shirt.
right. Which, by the way, and so I'm just like, oh yeah, it went across my foot. So that was my lie to him. For some reason, I told him that it was on my foot. Then, as the next person comes by, and the member of our guild, I'm thinking,
Chris, how's that cockroach on your shirt?
that no, he didn't know. He didn't know about the shirt. He didn't know the cockroach was there. But I thought in my mind, foot, no, foot's not believable for me to be freaking out. Yeah, man, that cockroach walked right across my hand on my desk. And I've now told 3 different people, two different people, 2 different stories, none of them true, because for some reason I felt it made me dirtier for it to be across the center of my shirt that it walked
Probably
across.
makes you a little less alert.
Yeah, totally. That cockroach crawled out of my mouth, and I was just disgusted.
Well, you got a big liquid stain on your shirt. How do you explain that away from the hand incident?
Yeah, well, no one was at my desk, so they didn't even know it. It was just this weird thing that went through my head, and I just don't understand why
It's like
I did
that fish story that, like, you catch a 6-inch fish and you tell 5 people about it, and by the end of it,
It's a rhinoceros?
it's a huge fish.
But I don't think any of these stories are complimentary.
Serial killer.
Yeah, I don't think any of these stories are complimentary. Moreover, I don't think any one of these are less disgusting than the other. But somehow in my mind I made it seem as though, hey, it's on my foot or hand, it's not as bad as being across
Now, the stomach is the most disgusting.
No, but it wasn't my bare stomach.
Face is much more disgusting.
I don't wear a half shirt to work, so it was on a sweatshirt,
But it
which
had
was over a t-shirt. It could have been on my chair.
But it crawled up from the back of something or from your leg. So
No,
the
it could have
cockroach-
been it could have been on my chair and could have went right off. I
Yeah,
have
off
arms
the
on my
chair.
chair, and that's likely what happened because I'm sure. Well, I can't say I'm sure, but I think I would have felt it any other way. And I was also at my desk with myself pulled up on my desk. So the thing could have walked across my desk. It could have gotten there anyway.
think
But you
Was
know
it-
what's surprising is you have an office building in Manhattan. Is there a roach problem in your...
I'm thinking you took it from Duke's.
Well, that's what I thought.
You took it from Duke.
Listen, that's what I thought at first, which is why I hesitated to mention the name of the place. But then I told someone else that I work with, who I confirmed the hand story with, and said, yeah, this gross thing just came across my hand. It was like this big. It was like a palmetto book. I was like, oh yes, we saw one of those over by our desks over here too.
Okay.
So it's the building that has it. That's why I didn't have a problem saying that it was at Duke's, because
Guess-
Duke's is fantastic, and I'll eat there a million times a day.
Yeah, I still want to try their wings.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't actually need like an invite or like to go through a velvet
too
rope.
far.
It's
It's
actually
too
just
far
a
away.
place. It's actually a
Reservation?
place
I could call for a reservation today. I'll get a table.
You might be able to get reservations at the place that sells Peebers. It's a filthy. Like I don't want to be filthy. Like it's like a neighborhood bar that sells wings.
It's not. It's back to the roach thing. You have to understand. It's a building in the tri-state area, which means there are roaches in it. It's not any building isn't especially more roach-free than others. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Tri-state, I think, is a pretty broad stroke.
Okay, any of the 5 boroughs.
Even in New York City alone,
I would say Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan, every building you're going to find something.
But usually those offices have like top level extermination where there's no roaches crawling through their desks.
It might not be okay, but they're going to be somewhere in the walls or in
Have
the
to
floor, and eventually they're going to come
Have to
out
be.
and make an appearance. They're just
I wish that was like my
everywhere.
job where they would occasionally make an appearance. Our exterminator comes twice a week, and there's just constantly roaches crawling across everywhere in the back of where I work because people bring us back cable boxes and they have roaches in them because people are filthy animals.
It's everywhere. If there's food
Could you not
somewhere.
come to my house ever again?
I don't bring a bag to work. I put there's one
As long as I didn't walk across your stomach, I don't care.
there's one safe back area and a room where the safe is in, and I keep all my belongings there. And my belongings don't leave that room. That's because I can't. And
Is
there's
it
people
airtight?
put their bags down on the table, and it's.
I'm
Well-
especially like bugs are. I just can't deal with them. The thought of it it's making me itch. You're talking about it, like I'm actually breaking out and stuff, and I'm itching, and I can't stop touching myself because bugs drive me nuts.
I think that's the Mexican hooker that you're taking out with stuff from. But yeah, I don't. It was gross. Don't get me wrong, but I found them more interesting